Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Hunt Showdown guide. My name is Ace and here are 6 more tips to improve your game. So the new patch came out a few days ago and what it basically did was to introduce a new mission type where you can hunt 2 monsters, which is nice. But the big change is that they lowered the reward for entering the lair of the boss from $50 to $25. And in compensation for that, you now get a guaranteed reward of $50 if you are the one to actually kill the boss. These changes were made to loosen up the camper meta, which of course runs rampant in this game, and quite frankly, I can understand why so many people bitch about this, cause I am on the receiving end too. And since I can't really say that the patch did anything to alleviate the camper epidemic in the slightest, we gotta help ourselves here. So this time I included hints and tips that are specifically aimed to increase your chance of killing other players, especially those pesky campers. So without further ado, let's begin. Tip number 1, pull a Kansas City Shuffle. In order to defeat a camper, you have to think like a camper. So what do these bastards need to screw you over? And the answer is simple when you think about it, it's information. Basically it all comes down to who sees or hears who first. And try as you might, when a camper sits somewhere next to the bounty, they will most likely spot you first. But there is a way around this. It's called the Kansas City Shuffle and it goes a bit like this.
This is a Kansas City Shuffle. They look right. And you go left.
So the idea behind it is pretty simple. When an enemy expects you to be somewhere, don't be there. The goal you have here is to feed them as much false information as you possibly can to screw with their radar. You need to distract them. For example, you could just fire a shot to make a barrel explode and then, this is important, change your position. The gunfire and the barrel gives the signal that there might be a fight breaking out, and a lot of people won't pass up on that kind of info. Where's the winning team running to? Can we take them out? How many players are left anyway? The campers don't know, nobody does, and as soon as you play with their expectations, you have an easier time picking them apart. So yeah, the camper will look right, while you will come from the left. If you don't want to waste precious shots, then there are other things that might help you. I'm sure you've noticed the bells, the pianos, and the vinyl players which can be found at certain locations. Use them. Yes, you will give them a signal that you're here, but as soon as you activate the thing, you're gone anyways, leaving them to investigate what's going on. Especially at night, the generator can be devastating to a camping duo, since the whole place lights up in glorious blue while the outside, that's where you will be, stays dark. And suddenly, they have no place to hide anymore. Also, a nice side effect is that the sound of a running generator or a piano drowns out your footsteps if you stay close enough. And if you don't, well, it at least acts as another distraction for your enemy. And lastly, if they just won't leave their safe haven, well, then you still have the option to literally burn them out. Look, the camper strategy is a thing that won't go anywhere anytime soon, but there are ways to deal with it. Just remember to let them keep guessing, and I guarantee you, you will win more matches against these kind of people. Tip number 2. You can shoot through wood. That's all there really is to say about this. Any wall that is not reinforced in some way can be shot through. House walls, fences, you name it, as long as it's made out of wood, fire away. You will be amazed how many shots actually hit your target, since most people still believe that they're safe behind a piece of driftwood. And the best thing about it is, it works with all weapon types. Yes, even with shotguns, so go crazy. Tip number 3. Bullets are projectile based. To most, this will be a reminder, but still, look at this for a second, will ya? See this? It took the bullet some time to travel the distance, which means that you have to lead the shot a bit whenever you try to hit somebody who is moving. Also, you should know that the farther away you are, the less damage your shot will do. That was just a friendly reminder, I just wanted to put that out there. Tip number 4. Count the shots and the bodies. Let's say you are in a gunfight and your opponent pulls out the standard Winfield. Well, then count to 7. If you survive that long, he has to reload or change his weapon, which gives you enough time to put a well-placed bullet between his eyes. The trick here is to always know which weapon your enemy uses, so yes, you should listen out and get to know the distinct sounds the weapons make, and then assume that they have the better variant of that weapon. For example, the most used weapon right now is the Winfield standard rifle with 7 internal bullets, but the same weapon exists with an extended magazine that can hold 15. Also, if we have to count, then we might count the dead bodies of other players as well. Remember, we don't know the exact number of players who are still alive, and knowing how many dropped out by force might give you a hint or two about the chance of being ambushed later on. Tip number 5. Burn the bodies. With the latest patch out, duo players don't have to start at the same spawn point anymore, which is an insane advantage if you think about it. Because whenever one of the duo dies, the other one can just walk over the map and revive his teammate 5 to 10 minutes later. And suddenly everyone you thought was dead is now alive and angry and eager to dish out retaliation. Want to prevent this? Well then take an oil lamp, like this one, and go back to the body, like so. And then throw it as hard as you can at your downed enemy. This way the rest of his maximum HP will burn out and you can't revive someone who has 0 max HP. Tip number 6. Learn the spawn locations. Another thing I have noticed is that players will try to spawn kill other players in the first 2 minutes of the game whenever they get the chance to. And I gotta say, that is a viable strategy, but new players will struggle very hard against that kind of attack since they don't know from which side they can get attacked at the beginning of the match. So here's the map that holds all possible spawn locations. With this you can either anticipate the ambushes or prepare one yourself. I'm not here to judge, I just want everybody to be on the same page. By the way, you can find the map on my Facebook page, thank me later. Alright, these were another 6 tips to become a better hunter. I hope I was able to help you out, and if you've heard a tip that you didn't know before, please leave a like or a comment, it would help me out a lot. Also, on an unrelated note, I still work on my reviews for other games. So if you have some time left, then click right here. That would also mean a lot to me. And now, if you'll excuse me, I got some campers to take care of. See ya!